like say here's someone born blind, right?
Sure.
So you're saying that they were born blind because of their own actions?
Yeah,
How
we are.
dare, and because you're not blind, you're a better person than
I'm
them?
not saying that.
Okay.
We got a lot of all types of horrific things sitting in my karmic bag.
That's my point. In other words, I can't say, but no one can say that because their situation is
People don't want to hear this, Kaustubha. People do not want to hear this, but you're speaking truth.
Okay, I'm going to speak it whether they want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
But in other words, no one can take that judgmental stance and say, I'm a better person than you because right now my circumstances are better than yours.
No.
So that's proof that it's all due to karma. So therefore, if my external circumstances at the moment are superior to yours, it means I'm a better person. Because for all we know, all the seeds in their bag that are about to grow are like incredibly auspicious, good karma, and they're
Sure.
about to burn off the last of their bad karma.
Sure.
And I may be sitting here with like a huge sack of bad karma. So no, we don't believe that we can make these moral judgments about
And
people
let's face
based
it,
on the
Bubba,
externals.
time is so relative. If I say in this course of the day, a boulder fell and crushed my leg. And my God, what a day it was today. At the end of the day, a boulder came down. Now you put that in a week. What happened this week? Well, a boulder crushed my leg. What happened this year? Well, a few things happened and a boulder crushed my leg. In a decade, right? Already the boulder thing is getting minimized. In a lifetime, well, I fell in love. I had 3 kids. I went through a divorce, but then I married a really great one. A boulder crushed my leg. That's something that happened, but it gets minimized.
Right.
Now you look at that through eternal time,
Right.
and it is a sneeze,
Not even
a hiccup,
not even
a
hiccup.
cough,
It's not even
a
twitch. It's not even a twitch.
an itch,
Nope. No.
a blink,
A spasm.
a blink, a heartbeat. But that's what it is.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from beautiful Maharashtra, India, at the Govardhan Eco Village. This is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York City, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show. It's episode 1513, 1513, and today is January 10th, a day away from the most auspicious appearance of Raghunath. Tomorrow's my birthday, Kaustubha.
Yeah.
Woohoo! What's planned? What's the party?
We don't talk about
We're ready. We're ready for it.
It's secret. It's secret.
Actually, in Vaishnav culture, the
Sir,
tradition is the birthday
person
is giving the gifts. Everything's a little backwards.
Yeah, you got to serve.
You got to serve.
What will be the gift?
Kaustubha, nothing. But everybody.
What will be the gift?
I don't know. I think we're going to buy special sweets for people.
Okay.
Get that out with the meals.
Serve that out.
Serve that out. I get to serve out each devotee. It's a great feeling.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to that.
Mara, did we order something for me to give out?
Mara, did we?
Thanks. Mara's on it.
Mara's on it.
Mara just makes my life so easy. I'm so grateful.
Okay.
I'm sitting in a pool of gratitude today.
Is that gratitude? The pool that you're sitting in?
Oh, well, it's also sweat.
Right.
Sweat, maybe urine. Hare Krishna.
I'm glad it's
It's
gratitude.
6 a.m. here in New York. Sorry, guys.
All right. All right.
I got my afternoon banter on, so it's a little different.
Right.
It's a little light. It's a little lighter.
Okay.
In the morning.
Yeah.
But we're at it's 4:30 in the afternoon here in India.
Yep.
Things are going really wonderful. Had great kirtans, great programs. Had a wonderful day with Radha Swami. Had 2 Maha sessions with Radha Swami yesterday. I feel so grateful.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell you, when you get around these great souls, consciousness just rises. I just feel like it's something, I don't know, internal. You just feel lifted.
Okay.
And you feel like you're really like on your A+ game,
Uh-huh.
And this is
how is it manifested?
How's it manifest?
Yeah, like in your behavior, what have you done that's like
just like the thoughts stay high, the consciousness stays high.
Okay.
I will say, just being in this environment, just like it just keeps the consciousness high. I can't describe it any way else. But when the consciousness is high, we're away from all the petty things of this world. That's one of those like the symptoms of getting into bhakti. You stop becoming so petty.
Okay.
If you're playing this game right,
Yeah.
I feel like pettiness just falls away.
Tom Petty, Richard Petty,
The petties.
and all the other pettiness.
Yes, all falls away. Don't do me like that. I was really getting serious there, and you brought it back to trivial,
Yeah, you know,
to the trivial.
that was a birthday present.
Thanks. Thank you.
Mara, any announcements today?
What are you gonna get me?
That's all the secret.
Kaustubha?
It's a secret.
All right, better be something there.
It's going to be something.
Are we doing a show on my birthday?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Okay, Mara.
Mara,
Just
trying
get
to
a mic-
snuggle up in here? Sure you can.
Don't mind if it
You
is.
little sidler.
Sidle right up. All right. It's Tell a Friend Friday today.
Oh, yeah.
Check out our Sage community platform and share our new video promoting wisdom of the sages. Like, share on social media to help spread the word about our amazing community.
Okay.
And also tomorrow's our Q&A day, but the show will be at 6 a.m. Eastern time, the same time we're on now.
Okay.
If you have a question you want answered, supporting members can post their questions under the questions for the host tab in the community chat, or they can email them to me at wisdomofthesages108@gmail.com.
Thank you, Mara.
Thank you, Miss Mara.
Okay. You ready for a nugget?
Birthday week.
No, he's not ready for a nugget. I know, really.
Okay, sure.
Let's see. Why don't we read it and see if it's about your birthday? You ready?
Kaustubha.
You
Where are we going to be on January 31st?
We'll be in my port.
All right. So Kaustubha finally gets a little recognition on his birthday.
You see,
Previously, we were just sort of like always like we're in the plane and just like it's my birthday and no one's celebrating. And
No,
then it was my birthday here, and everyone's celebrating and they're
the
carrying me
things
on a
that go on
palanquin,
in this mind.
and he's sitting there
That's not my mind. That's
eating,
your mind.
eating plain food with a tear dropping from your eye. But I appreciated you.
It's great that you can entertain yourself inside your
I was
own
behind
mind
him.
like
I was in the plane behind him, passing him happy birthday notes. I care about you. He's wiping his eyes. And he just wrote a note back that said, "Thank you, thank you."
It meant so much to me.
Okay,
Oh,
but we'll
if-
be in my port for your birthday.
Oh,
Great.
thank God! Finally, this is what I've been waiting for all this time. Raghunath has been getting all the glory. His wonderful birthday is right at the perfect time. Krishna arranged it that way. Am I so sinful?
Maybe
that-
it's something you have to learn. Maybe it's a lesson you have to learn in this life.
Maybe not. Let's read the nugget.
All right.
So
What is the nugget?
It's from Albert
Was ist
Einstein.
das Nugget?
From Albert Einstein.
It's from Albert Einstein.
It's from his essay that's entitled "The
World as I See It."
The World as I See It.
He lived in our lifetime, right? Albert Einstein?
When did he pass away?
Like the 72 or something?
Wow.
Are you teasing me there?
No, she's looking it up.
Oh, I thought you said, I said, when did he pass away? And she said, when he left his body.
Well, she asked.
I was like, oh, very funny. Very.
He's looking it up.
How did you write that with? A pen? Did you write that? Oh, he died in
so, yeah, he
1955.
did make
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Not in my lifetime.
You might have been Einstein. Is that where this is going?
I'm not saying I am, but
but there's a lot of reason to believe that he.
there
could
are
be.
some similarities. Gray hair, beard
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get serious.
Okay,
The most
sure.
beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious.
Oh yeah.
It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science.
Okay.
Whoever does not know it and can no longer wonder, no longer marvel, is as
Read that
good
again.
as dead.
Read that again.
Whoever does not know it and can no longer wonder, no longer marvel, is as good as dead,
Dead.
and his eyes are dimmed.
Okay.
The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science. What do you think?
Well, just
do you
the
think
way
about
that he
this?
phrased it, in other words, I don't see how the mysterious is an emotion, but I guess he means like the wonder at the mysterious, right?
The most
The feeling of
beautiful.
awe or the feeling of wonder when one thinks of the deep mysteries in life. And this is what I appreciate about scientists, or he's also mentioning artists here, like Einstein, as opposed to some of the very popular, pop atheistic scientists that are popular nowadays. Is he's saying that when you look at this world, you should feel a sense of wonder, and what that means is that you're open to find out what's behind it all, rather than having some predisposition to prove that there's nothing behind it all. He's saying no. I may have mentioned recently on the show, I forget, but he once said that imagination is more important than knowledge. Right. So in other words, we need to be able to stretch our imagination if we're going to find out the truth, if we're going to understand who we are and what this world is and what we're doing here.
Why would we think it's very easily perceivable?
Why would you think it's easily perceivable? Why would you want to kind of eliminate any mystery from it or any wonder from it? And when I say that, I don't mean like, I think we should be trying to find out what's behind it. We should be searching for that. Life is a search for that. But why would you have this predisposition to kind of like take all of the, I don't know, take in a sense, take all the beauty out of it, just say, oh, it's all just a bunch of random action, just a bunch of chemicals that are mixing together randomly. I know it's the fact. Well, how do you know it's a fact? Because we haven't seen anything else.
Yeah,
well, come on,
what
man.
if
That's the mystery. Now go into that,
Sure. And right. It reminds me, and I've mentioned this in the show before, but for those who missed it, it reminds me when I was a young man in the Lower East Side of New York City, and I have like Harley from the Cro-Mags preaching to me about this eternality of the soul.
Okay.
That there's one God, all religions are the same, or trying to get to love of God, and we shouldn't eat meat because we shouldn't cause, we should minimize our violence.
Let me tell you about all the religions of the world. You're like, oh, okay.
I know, I'm listening to
theologian over here.
Harley. Minimize violence. Are you kidding? Were you talking about minimizing violence? You just broke a bottle over somebody's head.
That stick with the nail in it that you're holding on right now and smacking into your other fist.
Anyway, so but he was preaching to me, and then I was just sort of like nodding, and then he stepped away, and his guitar player, who was an atheist, came up to me and said, "Wait a second.
You're listening to this stuff?
I just want you to know that these guys, these Krishna guys, that whatever they're trying to tell you, they're saying that the absolute truth, the origin of everything, the cause of all causes, is a tiny little blue cowherd boy. How ridiculous is that?" And I thought, I don't know. Why not? Why not?
That's right.
And I think that's a really good place to begin Vedic studies, which is, we don't know anything. Why not? If I come in thinking, no, definitely not Krishna, how can you learn anything? If you think you've already got a grip on reality, no one can tell you anything then. It's just like a teenager, and the mother told the teenager, you better be careful, who's at the party when you go out tonight. Yeah, Mom, I know. And I'm serious. If those kids from the college come down, you better call me. Mom, I know. Once you know everything, no one can tell you anything. So the way to enter this Vedic paradigm is, I don't know. Because I don't know, could be.
Let's investigate the sources of knowledge out there.
Let's talk it through.
And let's understand that there's more than one type of evidence in this world. There's something beyond physical evidence. There's all kind of evidences that one needs to consider if they're going to try to uncover a mystery.
And you don't win a debate just by saying, that's so ridiculous.
Right.
And like almost like try to shame a person
right
into, we're all kids, and I don't take it personally or anything, but sometimes people will say, "Are you crazy?"
That then their argument's not very deep.
Right.
I remember once I saw you speak in Raghunath. This was many years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did I speak words of wisdom?
They were very intriguing words.
Tell me.
This was, where you were? It was at Pure East. Pure Yoga East.
Pure Yoga.
Which was on East 86th Street.
That's when yoga was like taking over Manhattan. It's like, we're make this like big, super fancy. Does this still exist, Pure?
I think Do they? Yeah,
Maybe.
Genevieve,
They
pretty over here. I know
closed after the
they
pandemic,
closed
they
on the
closed
west side.
one.
They were already closed
Anyway.
on the east side. So then maybe they don't
That was my
exist.
stomping ground, pure.
All right. Well, you were stomping there that night. And you were talking about, you said something like this, if I remember correctly. You said, imagine, like days before there was television and video and all that. And before there was, like air travel, like airplanes and all that.
Yeah.
So most people didn't leave their continent or even leave the home too
Most
far.
Their
you know?
village.
Yeah.
A trip to New Jersey would have been like, all right, pack it up. I might see it,
Yeah. And so you were saying, imagine if someone, was like here in the States and then they went to Africa and then they came back. And then everyone was saying like, well, what was it like there? You say, well, they have these horses that are like, they have black and white stripes. Right. And then the people would say, oh, you mean like sort of kind of
White neck, black face.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
Or you sort of like, black, white, like totally white, totally black stripes going down the whole thing.
And they look at each other like, really?
Yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Then they have these other horses with long necks and a head that eats the leaves off the trees.
Like long, like just like a little bit longer than the horses here.
No. Like twice the size of their body. You can eat the leaves off of trees.
Right.
It's too fantastic. These stories are otherworldly and fantastic.
Yeah.
And you'll never know anything because all you know are, white-tailed deers, raccoons, and an occasional bear.
Awesome.
Yeah. You can't understand a striped horse.
Yeah. Not like that.
A peacock, a rhinoceros.
Speaking of a peacock, right? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
Elephants.
I think you're using it as a way of illustrating that certain things in life we can only know about through testimony. And why should we shut our minds down to all the testimony that there only just because it is testimony?
Sure.
Because it's merely testimony.
Well, it's just dogma.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you're just coming and saying, but the thing is, if it was someone that knew you, loved you, trusted you, if you told them, yeah, they got horses with black and white, they got horses with huge necks, they say, I trust your testimony because of you've gained my trust in life.
Sure.
And so similarly, like, for centuries and centuries, sages have trusted the words of the Vedic literature. They've experimented, they've trusted it. So in trusting it, they open their minds up to it. And then they would experiment with it, experiment with the knowledge, consider it, reflect on it, apply it as they go through life, see if it improves their life, see if they're able to achieve states of consciousness that are described in these texts. And see if they can have experiment, go into the laboratory with your own consciousness, and see where it goes.
If you're listening to the show and you've been in this game a little while, like I've tried meditation, I go to kirtans, I've been on pilgrimage, or, I've started to, be a little careful about what I put in my mouth, careful what I put in my ears, careful what I put in my eyes, careful the people I associate with.
Careful what I put on my mustache.
Careful what you put on your curly mustachio. He's making fun of my mustache.
I'm not. I'm just saying you put good stuff in there. You're not going to put anything in there.
Yes. Anyway, my point being, is if you start playing this Bhakti game for a while, after a while, you start to realize, oh, I've entered the experiment. And oh, I'm noticing a difference. Right. Something's changing in me.
Right.
I'm becoming a different person.
I'm able to let go of things I wasn't able to let go of. It's made my mind more peaceful and even. Doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. If people are saying nice things about me or not.
I let go of the idea of enemies. I mean, everyone's going to be different. Everyone's got their own personal things that they refuse to let go of. Even people who've been playing the game for a long time.
Game.
It's the game. It's the Bhakti game.
The game. It's called the game.
You're quoting Seinfeld, aren't you?
Yes.
Anyway. The idea is if you've been playing this game for a while, you know that you're actually changing. You're witnessing yourself changing. And that's sort of very cool. And, it's different. I find it a little different than Christianity, where they just say, just have faith. You just got to have faith. And they just push this whole thing on faith. Just believe, like you're walking in with blinders. I never felt like that.
Okay.
I still reserve the right to question things on a regular basis. And I think it's healthy.
Right.
I think it's healthy. I still walk into this like I was introduced to it. I don't know. Here's what I would say. I don't know, but could be. Christian the Blue Cowherd Boy, I don't know, but could be. Could there be higher living beings on the, could the wind be a person, the sun be a person, the planet be a person, this tree be a being? Could be. that makes sense. Well, it's reasonable.
Okay.
This is what the great sages say.
Mhm.
Say great sages say there's demigods. Maybe. You know what I mean? I've never seen Lord Brahma. Could he be real? Sure.
Okay.
So we take baby steps forward, trusting the great authorities that have walked ahead of us.
Mhm.
All I do know is what they've presented to me, the things that I can digest, things that really make sense, really, really, truly make sense.
Mm.
And I'm building up a whole a list and of practices that actually work in my life and make my life more peaceful, more grounded, more connected.
Right.
Mm?
Love it, Raghunath. Love it. So, yeah. So here's a whole tradition that's, got something to offer. It's not just a religious dogma that they're handing out. They've got stuff on mathematics, literature. Their language is the most advanced language. It's the oldest language we know, and still to this day.
They say it's like computer language.
They
Sanskrit.
say it's going to change AI and everything too. That they're going to go towards Sanskrit to use it. It's
Really?
yeah. It's just such a powerful. One time I studied like what that meant, and now I forget. But it's like it's got no.
Come on, you're supposed to be the smart
It's
one.
got no ambiguities in it, so it's like it's perfect for computer language.
Okay.
And it also has all kind of like the way that the language plays it, like the rules in English, for instance, the grammatical rules limit it. Like for instance, in poetry, you have to make it rhyme.
Yeah.
And then, but you also can't screw up the grammar. But what if you could put this word in the middle, in the end, at the beginning, and it's all going to work grammatically, and you can still get the message across?
Mm.
Then you have a better language.
Mm.
You have a language that you can do more with.
Mm.
And so in that way, in many ways, Sanskrit is like it's this incredibly brilliant language.
It's favored by
It's
computer
now it's
programmers and
favored by
things like
computer
that. Very
programming. If
interesting, huh?
poets knew it, then poets would say, "Oh my God, the songwriters! If we had this language, we could write more beautiful poetry. We could write more beautiful songs."
Mm.
So it's it has the language, it has mathematics, it has architecture, it has medicine. It's got growing out of this culture of the teachings of these sages is just so much powerfully potent, effective knowledge. So then let me also hear the theology and see if it makes sense.
I like that.
So now we're hearing, we've been reading about Bali. He's been speaking a lot about contentment.
Mm.
He's been speaking a lot about truthfulness.
Mm.
He made a promise to Vamanadev, to Lord Vishnu, that whatever you ask me, I'm going to give you. Then his guru came along and said, hey, you don't want to do that. Better that you lie, better that you find a loophole.
Mm.
And he's going to say, you know what? I'm feeling inspired right now.
I'm going to risk it. I'm going to
I-
risk it. I'm
I-
going to roll those dice.
I'm feeling inspired right now to give everything. I would give my own life. I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to be some creep that doesn't keep his word and that tries to find some loophole. It's like when an insurance company, like, they promise, if you get in trouble, we're going to take care of you. But
We're
when the
here
time
for you.
comes,
Prudential.
yeah,
We're here for you.
but when the time comes, they find a loophole and they don't. And
Oh, actually, no.
Yeah.
We don't cover hurricanes.
And so
our
our Florida resident is
according
like,
to Linda from Tampa, she's going, yeah.
Oh, that
Insurance
one.
companies.
And it's and when someone cheats you like that, the feeling that oh man, what
Betrayal, hurt.
and so he said the Mother Earth herself, like when you say Mother Earth, you're speaking about like the most, like the one that we all are indebted to, it's like, pure, this pure being who provides so much for us. She says, I can tolerate a lot of weight,
Mm.
but the one thing I can't tolerate is the weight of a liar. So he's saying, I'm not going to do that. And now he's going to give everything. And it looks like exactly what his guru said is going to happen, that he said he's going to take his second step. He's going to take it. He's not taking 3 little steps. On his second step, he's going to take the whole universe. But what happens is when he sees it, in one sense, it's like he's being cheated. In one sense, it's like, yeah, you got tricked. He took everything from you. But in another sense, it's like all the mysteries of the universe are being revealed to him as he watches this happen.
Wow.
And so it's like, it's like Krishna saying, I'm cheating you, but I'm giving you everything.
Mm.
In one sense, what you're giving me is nothing. In one sense, everything that you gave me is in me already. Watch.
It's the classic everything like makes no material sense. And do you want to choose Krishna or Krishna's army?
Yeah,
Right? In the Mahabharata, Arjuna has this Krishna offers Duryodhana and Arjuna. He loves them both. He's partial to them both. Of course, Arjuna is the devotee. And he says to Duryodhana, listen, you want me to fight in the war for you?
I will not fight.
I make you a deal. I've got a massive army, an Akshahini. It has people fighting on elephants and chariots and foot soldiers and hand-to-hand combat, a couple people with grenades.
Chariots.
Yeah.
Chariot fighters.
I said grenade. You didn't say anything.
Oh, well, I let that kind of stuff go. It's your
Okay.
birthday week.
Thank you. Anyway, he's got a huge, massive army. He said, you can have my army or you can have me. But if you choose me, I'm not going to fight. So Duryodhana, I saw you first. You can pick first. And then Arjuna, you get second dubs because you get whatever's left. And Duryodhana was like, are you kidding? I can choose your army or I can choose you, but you're not going to even fight. I choose your army. Are you crazy? And then
That makes material sense.
it makes a lot of material sense. He's got a big, strong army, and Krishna's not going to do
He's gonna be
anything.
driving the chariot.
Yeah.
Anyone can do that.
So he said, Arjuna, I'm so sorry. You get stuck with me. You lost. And Arjuna's answer was, oh, Krishna, are you kidding? If you're on my side, if you're on our side, if you're on the side of the Pandavas, how can we lose?
Doesn't matter if you're not going to fight.
Yeah.
You
If
just
we have Krishna, if we have truth, if we have righteousness, if we choose love, how can we lose in this world? It doesn't make material sense. My parents won't understand. My friends won't understand. My family won't understand. Are you kidding? You're throwing it all away. No, you don't understand. I do understand. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to follow Krishna. There's a greater plan. You can't see it, but I can. And Krishna gives us that vision, this divine vision, and that's part of the gift Krishna explains in the first canto of the Bhagavatam, is that for one who starts to render service to Krishna, he rewards two things: detachment from the things I was attached to.
Mhm.
The things I've been carrying around, he makes them really easy to let go of.
Okay.
And then he gives you a map. He gives you a map how to escape the Maya of the material world.
A map.
Causeless mercy and detachment. Causeless knowledge
Okay.
and detachment.
Knowledge is that. Nice.
Name that verse.
Jnana Vairagya?
Whoop! That's it.
Well, I mean, those two words in the verse. What is it? Give me the first word. What
I
is
can't
it?
remember.
Jnana
Gyana Chayada Hoitukam.
Jnanam Chayada Hoitakam. But I'm forgetting the first word. Anyway,
Shushisho Shudhana.
No, that's not it.
That it.
what is? I think it's Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter.
Second
text number
chapter.
7.
Shushisho Shudhana. Vasudeva Bhagavati Yoga Prajodita. Yeah, that's it.
Jnana Yat
Vasudeva Bhagavati
Vasudeva
Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha.
Janayat Yasu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayada Hoitakam.
Booyah.
Yes.
2 wonder powers.
All right.
Teamwork there. Teamwork. Slook. Teamwork.
Okay, let's get into it. You ready?
We were into it.
I know.
Let's not get out of it.
Right. Chant the shlokas.
Narayanam Shaivanarottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatojayam Mudirayat. Before he said in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, which is every means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan. Unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesha bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome in the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord who is praised with transcendental songs will be established as an irrevocable fact.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Maha.
I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam.
Yeah. Canto 8.
Canto 8.
Chapter 20.
Chapter 20.
Entitled.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought that's how you did it. I thought you looked at that. Entitled Bali Maharaj Surrenders the Universe.
Okay.
We're at text number 8.
O best of the Brahmanas, certainly the great demoniac kings who were never reluctant to fight enjoyed the world. But in due course of time, everything they had was taken away, except the reputation by which they continue to exist. In other words, one should try to achieve a good reputation instead of anything else.
Okay.
What are they talking about, these demons' good reputations?
Did he say demons? Oh, certainly the great demonic kings. Well, I guess they had good reputations among themselves.
Okay. Yeah, I guess maybe they
They
fought
were
a noble.
heroic.
They
were,
fought a noble fight.
Yeah, they
you
were
know.
ready to sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, we see examples of that. So, by the way, Didici, we mentioned yesterday.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the one that gave up his bones for Indra's weapon to fight against
I
Ashura.
like that little research you did.
I didn't
And
have
right
to. I knew
after-
that.
You knew it, but you didn't say
course.
it.
Yeah, because you're talking.
You sound like my dad. No more your lip. No more your lip. I don't want to hear any more your lip.
So this is Bali Maharaj. And
Because you're talking. No more lip.
So this is Bali Maharaj talking to his guru, and he's saying, "You're telling me to lie, but
1 minute I wampered your butt. The next minute you're giving me some lip and lipping off again.
But he's saying, yeah, you're telling me to lie so that I can save all these things that I'm
Yeah.
going to lose anyway. But the one thing I don't want to lose is my reputation.
Right.
Right. I'd rather die.
Okay.
with
So
a
yeah,
reputation.
Bali definitely kept his reputation.
Yeah.
Oh, best of the Brahmanas, many men have laid down their lives on the battlefield, being unafraid of fighting, but rarely has one gotten the chance to give his accumulated wealth faithfully to a saintly person who creates holy places.
Right. I got a special opportunity here to give to someone very special. I'm going to make the most of it.
You know what, Mara? I'm going to tell this story tonight at our evening sangha.
Oh, there you go. But that idea.
Yesterday, I told the story of Maharaj Shibi, or the day before.
All right. You told that in the show. So, you're taking it the show.
I've taken, you know what I mean? I'm doubling up.
Okay.
I'm doubling up. I'm double dipping.
double it.
Double it.
Yeah. So he's, that idea, he's saying this person is very special. It's a rare, I'm not going to meet a person this special, very often. I'm going to make the most of it. Indian people, a lot of them get this, right? It's like they meet a saintly person. They want to do, they're like, I'm not going to let this opportunity slip through my fingers.
Sure.
Come to my home.
Yeah.
Stay as long as you want. We're going
Please.
to cook for you. We're going to take care of all your needs. Please.
Sometimes they mistake us for saintly people. And we get that. We get that invitation. Please come to my home.
Just how thorough they're being about it.
Yeah.
So he's saying, you may be telling me that I'm going to lose everything. I don't care. This opportunity is too good. I'm going to give to. Okay. Please.
Oh, great sage, great saintly persons like you.
Is that the one or is 10?
Oh, 10. Sorry. Mara, you don't even, oh, you are looking. I thought she was just knitting, but yet she has photographic memory
right
or
there.
something. She's actually reading it on her phone.
Yeah.
By giving charity, a benevolent and merciful person undoubtedly becomes even more auspicious, especially when he gives charity to a person like your good self. Under the circumstances, I must give this little brahmachari whatever charity he wants from me.
Sounds like when he said your good self, he was speaking to his guru. He wasn't actually in other words,
Speaking to Vamanadeva.
which is very interesting. It's like generally when, like, in other words, let's say there's someone that you go to for advice, someone that you revere a bit, and then somehow they let you down.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be your moment to kind of respond like, you know what? I put my faith in you. You let me down, even in a little way. I don't care. Now I kind of drag you down, right?
Yeah.
He's maintaining respect in his dealing with Shukracharya, right? He's still dealing with, although he's refusing to follow his order, he's still being very respectful.
Good lesson.
Yeah.
Good lesson. There's a lot of people maybe who inspired us in Bhakti that maybe aren't in good standing now.
That's right.
Yet in my heart of hearts, I always have to, and I still do, hold them in the highest amounts of respect, because in the fabric of my spiritual life, they were tagged by Lord Krishna to save my life. So therefore, you always have a special place in your heart to always to think ill of them. Oh, look at them. And by the way, people who have some slip up and fall down, people can turn around in 1 second.
Sure.
Sometimes that is just some type of thing they have to go through to catapult them to higher states of being. Never look down upon a fallen devotee.
I tell you, it's like, in terms of what we go through in life, we just take this tiny little perspective of like, even if we say like a day, a month, a year, or even a lifetime, they're all very small.
It's small.
It's little
A
cells.
lifetime is small.
It's a small thing. We're all going up and down. We got to think of ourselves as like we're all in a big ocean, and the waves are like they wash up, they wash down. Sometimes we're like riding high up on this wave, and our heads above the water. And at other times it shifts, and everybody that was down, like suffering under
comes
the
up.
water, yeah, it shifts and they go up.
We see this with historically with kingdoms,
Oh, yes,
You
with
know,
kingdoms,
right?
Yes,
the Dutch and the British were leading the world with the biggest navies and things like that. The tiny little country Dutch, they owned so much,
amazing.
owned so much land.
I don't know how they could have
The
done it.
Portuguese is a tiny little country.
I don't see how a little country like England could just spread out so much.
Yeah, quite unbelievable, huh?
I don't know. The math just doesn't add up.
Right?
Somehow they did it.
How influential were the Portuguese? Now, historically, people want to retire there, but it's not like Portuguese.
Right.
There's no.
So you go up and down, and
They shift. Times are shifting. Right now, America's up. America's can crumble in a moment. America can crumble and just can be
yeah,
taken over and be nothing.
yeah.
The waves of time, Kaustubha.
I'm
The
telling you.
waves of time.
Say it again.
The waves
Of
time.
thank you.
Just changes in a moment.
So
For those who are last, will soon be first.
therefore we can't really be judgmental. Doesn't mean we have to do anything anybody says.
The meek shall inherit the earth.
all of
Kaustubha.
those biblical quotes, just throw them all out. Anymore?
That's all I got.
Okay. But yeah, we really do have to be careful about being judgmental because we're all going up and down and up and down. It's that kind of thing where like
Extend people the benefit. Extend them the benefit of the doubt.
extend it.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Extend people. We're so quick to jump all over people. Extend them the benefit. You know what? They're down. They'll get back up.
And it's not only extending that way, but it's also going back to yourself and
Mm.
saying, who knows how many times, even in this life, I behaved like this, or in previous lives, I may have behaved like this.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
I was thinking, a lot of times nowadays, especially with like the postmodern mind and everything like that, when you start to talk about karma, like when we first got into Bhakti, when you talk about karma, it wasn't such a big deal. The idea that as you sow, so shall you reap. Maybe everyone didn't believe it, but now it's like people are morally indignant about the whole thing. It's like, how dare you suggest that the victim is to blame in any possible way? That is sick, what you're doing,
Yeah.
And what they
How
don't-
dare you have someone take full responsibility for what happened?
right. But what they don't get is that I'm going to judge your worldview coming from these ancient texts, but by just taking a little piece of it and not taking all of it.
Sure.
So it only works when you take all of it. It doesn't work when I could take a piece of your thing and screw it up too,
Right.
So the idea is that what's taught in these texts about karma is that we're all walking around with a bag full of karma seeds.
Ooh,
Some of
I
them,
like this.
some of them are fructified. In other words, some of them are manifest.
They're actually growing fruit in the bag.
Yeah, they're there. Like the tree is grown.
I'm trying to keep this analogy going.
and
You got a bag of seeds,
Yes.
but some you've given fruit. So that has grown into a fruit tree in your bag.
not in the bag.
You planted that one.
That one is now manifest externally
Okay, so you
outside of the
planted a
bag.
seed outside the bag.
Yes.
And it's grown to a fruit tree.
But we still have a bag full of seeds.
And you have a bag with you.
Yeah, and those seeds we don't know what those we don't. What are you laughing at?
Sorry. You're trying to make a new analogy. It's a new one. I haven't heard you say this one.
A bag of seeds? You never
That's
heard
what
that?
you said. That.
It's like I think I've heard that before.
But
I'm
no,
not making it up.
But you said I have a bag of seeds and one is fructified. Some have fructified. So I was like, well, is
Well,
it fructified in the seed bag?
Okay. Keep working with that. We're gonna enjoy that one. Squeeze a little more out of that one if you can. All right.
You got to get clear with your analogy, man.
It's clear, right?
You took the seed, it planted that one, but it grew very quickly.
but we're still walking around with a bag of
You
seeds.
still got a bag of
Okay, let me
unsprouted
clarify.
seeds.
Some of them we have taken out of the bag and has fructified. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Like you've dropped some on the ground. There's a hole in the bag. You dropped some seeds. They have grown.
There are different
and
ways it
given
could have
fruit.
happened. Yeah.
You're carrying around a bag of some are sprouting.
Can I get to the relevant point? That's
Well, that is part of the relevant point. Some are not sprouted, but they will sprout.
that's the point. And they will sprout. And so we don't know what seeds like say here's someone born blind, right?
Sure.
So you're saying that they were born blind because of their own actions?
Yeah,
How
we are.
dare, and because you're not blind, you're a better person than
I'm
them?
not saying that.
Okay.
We got a lot of all types of horrific things sitting in my karmic bag.
That's my point. In other words, I can't say, but no one can say that because their situation is
People don't want to hear this, Kaustubha. People do not want to hear this, but you're speaking truth.
Okay, I'm going to speak it whether they want to hear it or not.
Yeah.
But in other words, no one can take that judgmental stance and say, I'm a better person than you because right now my circumstances are better than yours.
No.
So that's proof that it's all due to karma. So therefore, if my external circumstances at the moment are superior to yours, it means I'm a better person. Because for all we know, all the seeds in their bag that are about to grow are like incredibly auspicious, good karma, and they're
Sure.
about to burn off the last of their bad karma.
Sure.
And I may be sitting here with like a huge sack of bad karma. So no, we don't believe that we can make these moral judgments about
And
people
let's face
based
it,
on the
Bubba,
externals.
time is so relative. If I say in this course of the day, a boulder fell and crushed my leg. And my God, what a day it was today. At the end of the day, a boulder came down. Now you put that in a week. What happened this week? Well, a boulder crushed my leg. What happened this year? Well, a few things happened and a boulder crushed my leg. In a decade, right? Already the boulder thing is getting minimized. In a lifetime, well, I fell in love. I had 3 kids. I went through a divorce, but then I married
And
a
a
really
boulder.
great one. A boulder crushed my leg. That's
Yeah,
something that happened,
right,
but it gets minimized.
right.
Now you look at that through eternal time,
Right.
and it is a sneeze,
Not even.
a hiccup,
Not even a
a
hiccup.
cough,
It's not even
a twitch.
It's not even a twitch.
an itch,
Nope. No.
a blank,
A spasm.
a blank, a heartbeat. But that's what it is. So in one sense, we think, oh, how dare you? Don't you understand?
Yeah.
This stuff is relative.
And we're all going up and down in the waves.
Sure.
You know?
And sometimes great blessings happen. If that thing fell on my leg, it appears on one level to be a bad thing.
Maybe not.
But it could propel me to maybe dig deep about inside my own heart about the meaning of life and
Yeah.
find a new path, etc. So many blessings that come out of it when we apply spiritual information to our times of distress.
I always think of Curtis Mayfield. You know Curtis Mayfield?
Singer, soul singer.
Yeah, Curtis Mayfield. He was just a sweet person, you know?
I don't know
A
him.
deeply spiritual man. And, he was doing a concert. They used to do these concerts in Prospect Park in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And he was doing a concert there, and like the lighting from way up above fell down and hit him. Like hard.
Really?
And it paralyzed him for the rest of his life.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah, I think maybe from the neck down he was paralyzed.
What is going on out there?
Nobody can hear it on the thing.
Did you tell him to
There's a little
stop?
background noise.
They can't. Okay.
So you continue about Curtis Mayfield.
Hold on with Curtis Mayfield. Okay. Oh no, you aren't done with Curtis Mayfield.
I'm
He's
not done.
paralyzed. He's
Yeah.
paralyzed.
He said, "I never said why me."
He said that.
Yeah, he said, "I never said why me." All of the things that are happening to us in life, I accept them. They happen for a reason. We're all meant to grow through that.
Wow.
That's
Some people are just evolved.
it's a type of evolution,
It's a
And-
spiritual
and
evolution.
he went on to like record like
Oh,
some of his
really?
best music and some of his most well recognized
See, I
music.
did
after
not know
that.
any of this stuff.
Curtis Mayfield, sweetheart.
You know what I was thinking of yesterday?
Yeah.
Our lovely Vonna Molly, Vicky,
Oh yeah.
Brenda.
Oh yeah.
So me and Mara went to see her. She was an old time Zoomer. Now she's been on the show before. She's been to Super Soul, right, Mara? She's been on the show, and I remember her hometown was bombed. It was one of the first town in Ukraine.
It was one of those ports, Mariupol. One
Mariupol.
really got leveled right at the beginning of the war.
And she was living in Cyprus. I think,
Cyprus. Yeah.
Cyprus, and
Her family was still back there, though.
yeah, but
in
she was
Ukraine.
she had
Yeah.
oh yeah, she was with us in Vrindavan. Anyway, now she's settled in the Govardhaniko village, and she married a really nice devotee that we love, and they had a baby.
Yep.
And me and Mara went to go see the baby. It's a new baby, and
A new baby.
brand new baby, and she had a natural childbirth, meaning she didn't use drugs to numb the pain. And we were like, "Well, how was everything? How was the birth? How was the labor?" And she goes, "I just didn't realize how painful it was actually going to be. I thought it was going to hurt something, but I thought the joy, the ecstasy, but it was so
really hurt.
painful. I could not even believe how painful it was going to be. And then after full exhaustion, they're telling me to push. And I was just like, I've got nothing left. And they didn't speak English. And I was calling for my husband. And anyway, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And she's got this baby in her arms while she's telling me the story. And then she goes, now I can't even remember it. Now I can't even remember it. I just see this
I'm
beautiful
ready for
baby.
another one.
Right. And that's the magic of illusion.
Yeah, it's true.
Right. But you forget what you go through. And isn't that true?
It's
You
true.
forget the pain.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And we move on to new joys. Now, of course, sometimes there's trauma. We bring trauma with us.
Okay.
We all have suffered some type of trauma. So maybe it's neglect, betrayal, abandonment, abuse. And that also makes up the karmic seed bag, as Kaustubha so calls it, that we carry with us into our adult life, into our old age, and of course, into our next life.
Okay.
The karmic seed bag. And of course, how we react, like Curtis Mayfield reacted to that so-called disaster by going on and just creating more and more heart-touching songs.
There you go, Raghunath.
Huh?
Thank you for that.
I like that. I thought I'd wrap up my story and go back to your story and wrap up yours for you.
Came full circle.
Full circle.
Thank you, Raghunath.
Ring closed.
Okay, so Bali Maharaj, now that we close that ring, he's saying, you know, it's my reputation. I want to take this opportunity to give to this special being. I don't care if I get cheated. I don't care if he takes everything from me. This is the right thing to do. I'm going to do it. Let's keep going.
19.
Hmm?
No, 10, 11.
It was 19, 11, one of those numbers.
Oh, great sage, great saintly persons like you, being completely aware of the Vedic principles for performing ritualistic ceremonies and yagyas, worship Lord Vishnu in all circumstances. Therefore, whether that same Lord Vishnu has come here to give me all benedictions or to punish me as an enemy, I must carry out his order and give him the requested tract of land without hesitation. So he's preaching to his guru
That's right.
about the importance of accepting whatever Lord Vishnu
Wow.
gives us.
Okay. Text 12.
This is like the sobriety of what's his name again? Richard Mayfield?
So, Curtis.
Curtis Mayfield?
Yeah.
The sobriety of Curtis Mayfield.
Yep.
Although it is Vishnu himself, out of fear, he has covered himself in the form of a Brahmana to come to me begging under the circumstances because he has assumed the form of a Brahmana. Even if he irreligiously arrests me or even kills me, I shall not retaliate, although he is my enemy.
He's going extreme here.
He's going to
I'm going to do the
extreme
right thing, even if
radical
yeah, it's radical
responsibility,
Yeah, radical Dharma.
radical acceptance.
Radical Dharma. That's your next book. Radical Dharma.
Radical Dharma by Raghunath.
Okay.
You want to be radical? Want to be a radical? Radical Dharma. Huh?
Text 13.
If this Brahman really is Lord Vishnu, who is worshipped by the Vedic hymns, he would never give up his widespread reputation. Either he would lie down, having been killed by me, or he would kill me in a fight.
Okay.
Thereafter, the spiritual master Sukacharya became inspired.
Hold it. Why in the world? I just don't get it. Why wouldn't you read Sri Shukadev Goswami continue?
Why in the world
Put
would
that
you
in
correct me in
there.
front of 10,000 people?
Because they're not
Why?
understanding what's going on here. They need to know whose mouth it's coming out.
Well, I was reading it as a dramatic reader would read.
But they don't know
Thereafter-
who's talking.
I
the
know. But I
dramatic
say
reader.
there, if you would listen,
Yeah.
thereafter, the spiritual master Sukacharya, I obviously sound like a narrator.
Okay, I don't know if it's that obvious, but go ahead. Go
Well, I
ahead and
can
say it.
use some of my character
Sukadeva
voices.
Goswami- You weren't though. Sri Sukadeva Goswami continue. Just
Thereafter,
Okay.
the spiritual master Sukacharya, being inspired by the Supreme Lord, cursed his exalted disciple Bali Maharaj, who was so magnanimous
oh man.
and fixed in truthfulness that instead of respecting his spiritual master's instructions, he wanted to disobey his order.
Okay.
Although you have no knowledge, you have become a so-called learned person,
Oh man.
and therefore you dare be so impudent as to disobey my order? Because of disobeying me, you shall very soon be bereft of all your opulence.
Okay, so all that he's got, he's gonna lose it.
That was Sukracharya.
That's his curse.
Sukadev Goswami continued.
Thank you.
Even after being cursed in this way by his own spiritual master, Bali Maharaj, being a great personality, never deviated from his determination. Therefore, according to custom, he first offered water to Vamanadev, and then offered him the gift of land he had promised.
Take your 3 steps.
Bali Maharaj's wife, known as Vindhyavali, who was decorated with a necklace of pearls, immediately came and had a large golden water pot brought there, full of water with which to worship the Lord
Imagine that scene.
by washing his feet.
What she look like when she's coming. She's got that water on her head, probably a big pot there, all decorated. She's like pretty much the top woman in the universe at this point, right?
Yeah, she's the first lady of
She's
the
first-
universe.
she's the first lady of the universe. I was thinking of Janeshwar, who was photographed at wedding in Mayapur, and he took a photo of the bride Shami, and she was the Indradyumna Swami and his people do everything like so tasteful,
Mm.
So we see a lot of Vedic weddings, and the bride is always really done up, with
Yeah.
jewelry and the sari and the garlands and everything. But
Sometimes it's a little too much.
sometimes it's too much. Sometimes
it's
it's
a little too
over
much.
gaudy or something like that.
Sometimes a little gaudy.
But the way they did it, it was like
Taste.
that's what the heavenly planets look like. Like that, it's like that.
And that picture went to like millions.
and
People
that picture went viral. Like millions and millions have seen it. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? We live in a world where you can create something like in your living room, it just goes viral and you have millions of followers all of a sudden.
That's the world we're
Isn't that
living in.
interesting? We could never do that in the old days.
Yeah.
Make a viral video. Anyone can have their own, anyone that can have their own evening talk show. Anyone.
Yeah,
You
even
should do
us.
it. Even us.
Look at us.
We have our own talk show. Always wanted to have a talk show.
I know. Anything with a mic, you'll do it. Are we running out of time, Mara? Is that what
Like,
you're
this
saying
is my
again?
job. I get to
We never
talk.
got to.
We're
Okay,
at 26.
Well, you know what? We'll hold this because we didn't really get to the subject of the nugget as we didn't tie it all in. But once he starts taking these steps, the mysteries of the universe are going to be revealed.
You know what you should say next time? You should say, what do you think? Think we should stop here?
Why?
You just put the brakes on without asking me.
Well, Mara, I asked Mara, are we out of time? She gave me the time. It was
And she
pretty
said, no,
late.
you can read one more. And you said, we're going to stop it here.
Oh, well,
And that's where I said, you should ask me
well,
also.
but the thing is, you haven't read it, and I have, and so I have an idea of like where would be a good place to break it. That's the thing.
Okay, I'm gonna let this one slide.
All right.
I'm gonna let this one slide.
All right.
Takeaways?
Not digging in for this one. Hi,
Hey.
fancy meeting you here. You're like a little Muppet that just popped up.
You probably always wanted a puppet show too, a puppet television show,
Puppet
like a
here.
little lamb chop. Remember her? Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember Lamb Chop.
Rise above the pettiness of the material world.
There's not a lot of ventriloquists anymore, are there? That was a whole thing. Our generation was riddled with
Was it riddled?
riddled with ventriloquism and what's the other thing
Like-
called?
There are about like two, maybe three.
What
of
are
them.
what's it called? The people can like throw their voice. That's
That's a
ventriloquist.
ventriloquist.
And what's the other person you do? Impersonators.
Impersonator.
Like the Rich Little show. Remember that?
I remember Rich Little.
Rich. It was a comedian that just did impersonation.
Raghunath, stop. It's not your birthday. We're not going to give it to you today.
I
Tomorrow.
get the entire week of squirrels. It's Squirrel Week here on Wisdom of the Sages.
All right, Mara, what you got?
Back to our takeaways.
Yeah.
Rise above the pettiness of the material world.
Petty.
Okay. Thought you were going to rise above, but no problem.
Begin Vedic studies with why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Enter the experiment and see the change.
See the change.
Be the change. See the change.
Trust the great sages and take baby steps forward.
Baby steps, like 3 Vamanadev steps.
If we have Krishna, how can we lose?
Ooh.
It may not make any material sense, but it's true.
Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make material sense.
Keep a special.
That's a great t-shirt. Makes no material sense.
Okay.
Right, man? Write
Yeah.
that one down. Linda.
She's like, yep.
Keep a special place in your heart for all those who contributed to your spiritual fabric.
That's right. The fabric.
Extend the benefit of the doubt.
Extend it.
Why not?
Why just doubt everybody? Why be so cynical all the time? Just give them the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Come on.
Accept whatever Lord Vishnu gives us.
Yeah.
You get what you get. And
Don't
don't
get
be upset.
And
Mm.
Yeah.
we're all walking around with a karmic seed bag.
Big old bag.
And some have grown fruit within the bag. Maybe you dip some water in it or something. Growing with some sprouted seeds.
Sometimes seeds do grow.
Sometimes they do, if you get them damp. But not fruit. You gotta plant those. Thanks everybody for joining us. I apologize for analogies that were never talked through before spoken.